I decided to do an EVP, and it's called an electronic voice phenomenon, with a nice little cassette player and a blank cassette. And I decided, because I always watch all the ghost shows, I lived in the haunted house and I watched ghost shows because I lived in the haunted house and I was trying to see if they were actually telling the truth, because I knew what the truth was and I could poke up your scams with your fake ghost stuff, because my ghost didn't do that. So there we are. I decided to take an EVP. So I got this cassette player, and Grandma went to Jeannie's house one night for dinner, because we would go over to her house for dinner every now and then. But I decided, you know what, nobody's going to be here, so I'm going to take an EVP, because the house will be quiet, you're not going to have the noise from the street, because it was at night, you know, perfect time, perfect conditions. So I get my little cassette, I get it all ready, and I run upstairs because it was dark, and I did not like going upstairs during the daylight, let alone the dark. Run up there, I set it right in the middle of the hall room floor, and I push record, and I go back downstairs, we go to Jeannie's house, and then I'm like, oh, well, I gotta go, because it was like a 90-minute tape. I was like, oh, it's done, I'm gonna see what I got. So I go back home, Grandma stayed there, and at this point it was just, I was upstairs in my room, after I rushed upstairs to get that, because I stood there at the door like, so I go up and get it tonight, or do I just wait tomorrow? Because nobody was home, and the house was dark, you know, the house comes alive when nobody's there. And John was in the basement, so I'm like, I'll go do it. If I scream, maybe John will hear me, you know? So I get up there, and I go back in my room, and I just like play it. I put it in my stereo. I turn the volume all the way up. You know, it's extra creepy in a spooky house, listening to the static of a cassette player. It's great. So I'm just sitting there doing my own stuff, and all of a sudden I like hear like these sounds, and I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, rewind, let me play it again. I'm like, what is that? So I called John, come upstairs, you're not gonna believe what I found. So he comes up and listens to it. He's like, that's creepy. He's like, wait till you tell my mother. I was like, I don't want to tell her. Like, she'll get mad. She did get very mad at me for doing that, because she didn't know I did that. I didn't tell her the whole time at dinner or anything that I did it. I told her after I found something, and she was like, why would you do that? You're messing with it. You're gonna make it more active. I was like, it's gonna be as active as it wants to be. Like, so.
I would say that your grandmother was probably kind of wise, because attempts to communicate with it in the past have resulted in very serious, serious activity.